Hi, I'm Drex, and this is Introduction to Poi Spinning. In this video, we're going to cover the 2-beat weave, which is a fundamental building block both of 3-beat weaves and many other moves that we're going to cover down the road. So what exactly is a 2-beat weave? Well, it starts off with the poi in split time same direction here in wheel plane, and then we're going to cross each poi over so that it winds up on the opposite side of my body. In so doing, we're performing a tic-tac, and the hands adopt something of a staggered timing. That is, one hand initiates this move and the other one is slightly behind it. They don't just cross directly over at the same time. You'll also note that as I'm doing this, my right hand is always on top. I can just as easily perform this so that my left hand is on top instead. You will want to learn it both ways. So how do we begin to learn this trick? Well, we're going to start off with just a single poi, and one hand holding the head, the other hand holding the handle. We're going to begin cranking the two hands around, almost as though the two ends of the poi are like pedals on a bicycle. And then we're going to start crossing the hands over each other. Namely, I'm going to start bringing my right hand above my left hand, like so. Almost like I'm pulling it behind a plane or a boat. From the front, it looks something like this. What this does is it begins to train your hands into the idea that one is following the other, that this is a staggered move. Now let's get both of the poi involved. I'm going to start off here in wheel plane with my poi turning in split time, same direction. Let me turn to face the camera so that this next step is going to make more sense. At this point, I'm going to start off with my left hand reaching over to my right hip. As that happens, my right hand should cross over it, and both of them should return to their native sides. Again, left hand reaches for the right hip, and they uncross. Let's go ahead and take a look at this in slow motion so we can understand all the different pieces of it. Here in slow motion, we can see this move in a little bit greater detail. Note how the left hand initiates this. It sometimes feels as though the hand that's on top is the one that's in control of the move, but in this particular case, we really want to think about the hand that's going underneath, as it reaches across to the opposite hip. Once it's about halfway there, we're going to start pulling the top hand over to its non-native side, crossing over the hand that initiated this move. There will be one moment when the two hands are crossed completely over each other, and then the bottom hand is going to start pulling back towards its side, with the top hand pulling back towards its native side very shortly after. This is one of the more complex moves that we've learned, and there are a lot of things that can go wrong. Let's take a look at each one of them, and I'll give you some tips as to how you can get past them. First and foremost, a frequent problem is that timing falls back into together time rather than split time. One way that you can fix this is to find an old staff or a broom handle. Hold the staff with two hands about a foot apart. Then practice spinning the staff in such a way that you're crossing one hand over the other. This is actually the exact same move, a 2-beat weave, but what it does is it forces your hands into the proper timing. Train this for about 10 to 20 reps and then try picking back up the poi and doing the same move again. Hopefully you should find that it helps you find the correct timing. Another possibility you may find is that while one hand is having an easy time crossing over your body, the other one is having a difficult time getting the message. Here's one way that you can fix that. Start with your hands crossed and get the poi turning, and then return your hands to their native sides. This exercise is pretty difficult, but it will train your hands to find their places on either side of your body and to make the unwrapping part of it feel natural. If you find as you're doing this that you're hitting yourself a lot, there are two major possibilities for what's going wrong. Let's look at each of them individually. First, it might be that your cross points are not in the right place. One way that we can fix this is by starting when the underhand poi is pointed as far away from the body as possible. This will ensure that the cross points are pointed away from the body and give your body proper clearance to avoid getting hit. Another possibility is that your hands are simply not getting far enough over to avoid hitting yourself. They should be reaching for the opposite side shoulder and hip. They shouldn't be stopping on your midline. If this is indeed the case, one possible fix for it is actually to turn slightly towards the hand that is going to be going below to gain a little bit of extra clearance. Your body will have a slimmer profile and the poi are less likely to hit you then. It's super important to learn this move both with the right hand on top as well as the left hand on top. Both of these wind up coming in handy down the road for things like 3-beat weaves, windmills, and a variety of other different tricks. Make sure that you're training each side equally. Thanks for watching and enjoy the flow. Peace.